Over the course of 11 months, 12 people lost their lives.
As the former Minister for National Security,
gunshots became the soundtrack of the inner city. The 21-year-old is reported to have been killed by the police. Residents of Wilton's Yard, where Bernard died, claim he was executed by the law enforcement officers.
Kill him outright. He was begging for his life.
To execute somebody in that kind of a way, my man, that is just awful.
The blame squarely on the ex-National Security Minister for the fallout from the ill-fated anti-crime offensive, Operation Restore Confidence. Police killed 12 people during the crackdown on violent crime in 2010-2011.
The result of this operation? For the first time ever, the United States placed sanctions on St. Lucia.
How in the world can the American president sit in the White House and supervise the slaying of another country's national? In a police operation, these people get killed. You then want to debar our police officers.
No training assistance for our police. No equipment or material support.
You work with different ministers. Do you think, have all of those ministers worked with the police in a way that the police felt they had a friend, they had somebody looking out for them?
I think they have. What seemed to be happening in some of the cases that the ministers, I guess, they have their constituency. They are the ones generally who will run elections and things along that line. So they have this vested interest in ensuring that the police succeed, really. And sometimes some of them will go out of their way to, they tend to get too involved in operational policing, which creates a problem.
I keep saying that there has never been established a connection between O.R.C, Operation Restore Confidence, and the IMPACSing. Am I correct in that? Would you agree with that? There has never been an established connection.
Well, I suppose in the eyes of the public,
in your eyes?
In my eyes, there was a degree of connection, but what I have also, and I explored it a bit in the book, is I think it was a bit more than Operation Restore Confidence. There was some other issues going on around the same time. Because the fact of the matter is that the police operations, Operation Restore Confidence, was in 2011, and the IMPACS investigation started 2 years later in 2014. Actually, it was the end of 2014. So if it was something that was so, I guess, serious, something that was so
important,
that the police was involved in, then somebody would have stepped in 2012, early 2013.
The first that St. Lucians heard officially that the Leahy law had been applied was when the Prime Minister came on television and read out his speech to the whole world, that in fact that they had stopped funds and that it was based on so and so, and that if they want the money, then they're going to have to take corrective steps. Those are public statements. So listening to all of that, how did that hit you as Commissioner?
Well, I suppose those are political issues. I think it was something for the government of the day to have dealt with. But in terms of as Commissioner of Police...
Yeah, but you knew those things were not true.
But exactly, I was clear in my mind what we did. We followed, and I challenge anybody to prove otherwise, we followed the laws of St. Lucia as it related to fatalities involving police officers. The coroners played their role. The director of public prosecutions at the time played her role, and it is there. It is clear for everybody to see.
All of that stuff going on, the plan to have, even before the reading of that speech, the announcement of the report and so on. How much were you involved in any of that? Was your advice sought? Were you brought into any meetings at all?
Well, prior to the IMPACS investigation, as I said, I take the credit for recommending the IMPACS investigation.
You recommended the IMPACS investigation?
Yeah, I recommended, and I have absolutely no regrets for doing it. The idea is during the...
But you recommended that to whom?
Well, to the then Prime Minister.
So he
in fact, my initial recommendation was for a commission of inquiry. So anybody...
Are you talking before the inquest?
That was subsequent to the inquest.
Subsequent.
We had the inquest.
Yeah.
We had the fatalities of 2011. Then there was the investigation and inquest and the pronouncement, the decisions from the inquest, which were not accepted by, I guess, the international community. And then so in order to be able to move forward, because the Americans at the time had, I think they had actually announced Leahy sanctions on St. Lucia. So there was...
By the time the Prime Minister made his very first speech, they had already put the sanctions on because the whole issue had been ignored for 2 years.
Well, that is the point.
Am I correct?
Yeah, you are correct in the sense that that was at the point when he announced
when he made his IMPACS,
IMPACS investigation. Well, I call it in the book the Jamaican investigation.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anthony, yeah, we have to get there. He was the Prime Minister. I don't know why you're not proud to hear me mention his name.
Yeah.
You should be proud.
Because every problem begins and ends with Kenny Anthony for you.
That guy was, you know how much work I did. I have every right. And he was given a thing, 16-1.